There's an otherworldly quality about Iceland. It's raw and wild, it's hauntingly beautiful, and in recent years it's become an increasingly popular destination for those seeking a unique travel experience. Iceland is unlike any place most have ever seen. It's something like Jurassic Park meets planet Mars. It looks like nothing has changed since the moment the Earth was created, but that's not the case. Iceland is always changing. It's one of the most geologically active places on the planet. There are 30 active volcanoes, glaciers, and vast thermal waters just under the rocky surface. Iceland is located just below the Arctic Circle. It's experienced massive climate change over the ages. It's been frigid with periods of warming, then back to cold. Iceland seems to be experiencing a new warming trend in our time. Iceland is an island east of Greenland in the North Atlantic. It covers about 40,000 square miles, about the same size as the state of Ohio. Its population is just under 350,000, and about two-thirds of Icelanders live in and near the capital, Reykjavik, on the southwest corner of the island. Its recent evolution as a tourist mecca has a lot to do with its location on one of the most heavily traveled air routes between North America and Europe. It could easily take a week or more to tour the entire island, but if you only have a few days on a layover, you can still see a lot. One of the most popular tourist routes is called the Golden Circle. It covers 186 miles or 300 kilometers, starting and ending in Reykjavik on the south coast. From the moment you leave the city, you are impressed with the vastness and barrenness of Iceland. About 63% of the landmass is tundra, a flat, treeless region whose subsoil is permanently frozen. The first settlers arrived from Norway in 874 AD. That coincided with a warming trend that lasted until 1250. During that period, about 25% of Iceland was forested. Today, it's only 1% due to climate change, volcanic activity, and human habitation. About 14% of the country is covered by lakes and glaciers, leaving only about 23% suitable for people and agriculture, mostly along the coast. There's a lot to see on the Golden Circle. This gorge is formed along the fault line between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. From the highway, you can walk through a gorge to a beautiful waterfall. This area has been a filming location for the popular HBO series The Game of Thrones. The gorge is in the Thingvellir National Park, one of 3 national parks in Iceland. A nearby Park Information Center offers food, restrooms, and history lessons. From 930 to 1789, for example, Iceland's legislature met here each year for 2 weeks in open-air session. Another popular stop is the geyser fields. This area is covered with geysers that sit atop a large thermal spring. Every 8 to 10 minutes, one of the geysers blasts hot water high into the air. Iceland has harnessed its vast thermal energy reserves to generate most of the country's electricity. The country also uses hydropower from its glacier-fed rivers. Almost 100% of Iceland's electric power generation comes from renewable sources. The geysers are a popular stop not just because of the geysers and the steam vents, but also because there's several restaurants, restrooms, and a large gift shop here. Not far from the geysers is the truly impressive Gullfoss waterfalls, the Golden Falls in English. You can admire the falls from the parking lot, or you can walk down to admire them close up and experience the spray and hear the roar. It's especially beautiful in late afternoon when it's in full sun. You can see rainbows in the mist. A developer once wanted to install a hydro plant at the falls, but local farmers fought to preserve its natural state. Another popular stop is the Kirid Crater. It's believed to have been created by a volcanic eruption 6,500 years ago. It collapsed and filled with water. It's one of the few things on the Golden Circle that is privately owned, and there's a small admission charge. If you rent a car and you're on your own, it's a wise idea to have a GPS and a good guidebook. If your time in Iceland is short, the Golden Circle is your best bet for seeing a lot in the short amount of time that you have. Visiting a place like Iceland reminds us that travel is one of the few things we can buy that will make us richer.